Hello and welcome back to Panda Creates Tutorials. I'm Panda, and if you are new here, hello, welcome. I'm very happy that you found me. If you are not new here, welcome back. So this one is a refilm of a live that I did. We are doing a blown ink tutorial today. Now, I did attempt to do this live in a Aussie Tumbler Makers on Facebook, but about a day, maybe 2 days beforehand, I'd actually found out that Kmart had started selling compressed air cans, and they're about half the price of the ones that I usually use from Officeworks. So I bought that and went live and did the live with that, and it was a bit of a disaster. Who saw that live knows exactly what I'm talking about. We did decide to leave it up in the group just for a bit of a laugh and, you know, shits and giggles. But to try and stay committed to bringing you all quality content, I'm now refilming it for YouTube so that you don't have the absolute shitstorm that live was to try and follow as a tutorial. So to do blown inks, you will need alcohol inks. Today I'm doing the rainbow spectrum because I'm going to turn this into an autism awareness cup. So you do need alcohol inks. Now I do use Pinata inks for my ink swirls, but for my blown inks, because Tim Holtz alcohol inks are a little bit more transparent, they don't have as much pigment in them, in my personal opinion. I like using them for blown inks and alcohol ink coasters and stuff like that, because they do have that little bit of transparency, and because we've gone ahead and glittered our cup, the glitter is going to show up through the Tim Holtz inks and just make it really, really pretty. So you will need alcohol inks. I have some makeup sponges to clean up around the bottom after we've done our inks. You will need compressed air. This is the one from Officeworks. I thought it was a J. Burrows brand. It's not. It's the laser brand, right? But it is the blue can. So I went and found this. It was under a pile of shit in another room, but I did manage to find it. So we're going to use the tried and true one today. This is the Kmart one. Now in my live, I couldn't get this to work for me at all, and it became a real hot mess, but I'm not one to give up, so I did try again, so to speak, and I have found I still prefer this one's $15 a can from Officeworks. This one's only $8 a can from Kmart. This one is much better, 100%. I did get this one to work for me a little bit, but I still couldn't get the spindly effect to work as well with the one from Kmart. But the way that I got it to work is the little thing that it comes with, cut it in half at least. I think this what's left now is just under half of what there was, and I did find that worked a little bit better. So it may just take some practice, but for some reason this one just does exactly what I need it to without having to stuff around. So I did want to mention that the Kmart one bring the exact same effect but close enough for half the price, right? It's another case of you get what you pay for. Okay, so we have already spray painted our 20-ounce standard with Australian Export spray paint in matte white, and then I went over it with, I'm just going to turn that off in the hopes that it focuses. There we go. That is Glass Slipper from the Shimmer Shack. Okay, so I am doing everything exactly the same as what I did in the live, except we're now using the Officeworks one. Okay, the alcohol inks I am using is Crimson. These are all Tim Holtz inks. Crimson, Valencia, Sunshine Yellow, Mojito, Glacier, and Purple Twilight. Okay, I'm going to put my little sponges to the side. I'm also going to move my coffee out of the way so that I don't hit it with my elbow. Go in starting with red. And again, when you're using compressed air cans, the more you use it, the more frosty cold the can is going to get. It can get to a point where it actually does burn. So when you start feeling it getting really frosty, put it down, leave it for 5 minutes, and then come back and keep going. Okay, you have to, if we're going to use, because these are air dusters for keyboards and stuff, okay, we are not using them for its intended purpose. So you do so at your own risk, but please, you know, be safe and be responsible when you are using them, because you're not using them for their intended purpose. Okay, so with my crimson, I'm going to put a dot. And then with my compressed air, I'm going to create my first little spindly, feathery, okay. We're going to try and create some little spindly bits. Okay. Red. Okay, so my can's getting a little bit cold, so I'm going to pause and come back for orange. Okay, so while I'm waiting for my can to cool down, I've decided I'm going to go in now instead of at the end with my makeup sponge. And then go in down the bottom. And fill in down the bottom where we haven't put any ink yet. But then we're also going to use the same sponge to just come up to where the ink is quite solid. We don't want to mess with any of our little bits that we've blown. But we do want to blend that through like so. So it's all one section. Okay. So this is the Valencia. Orange works so much better than the red, doesn't it? Ha! That's what we want. Okay. Okay. So go in. Oops, with my makeup sponge again, and fill in down here. Should probably have gloves on because I'm getting dirty. So I'm going to get a whole new sponge for the yellow. From about here. that making more sense now that it actually works? Right, so you want to hold it at a bit of an angle, short bursts. We're moving the ink up, but we want that feathery, spindly effect. I don't know where that's going. It went off on a holiday. Okay, so that's the sunshine yellow. Same again, we're going to bring that down. Blend it through a bit more. And that, what? In frame. That is our yellow. I'm actually just gonna, there we go. I think I'm going to take another break and let this can cool down because it's getting a bit risky again. Okay. We might come back and add to the yellow. The yellow's looking, although maybe that's where we might leave that. Okay, on to green. This is Mojito. If I can get the lid off, it will be. Okay. Oh, still got to squeeze purple and blue in. I think I've been generous. Okay, in that case, let's build up through the yellow and work back this way. So now, I wonder if the microphone can pick that up. Can you hear that? That's the can. That weird noise, that's the can. Okay, so I'm going to bring my green into the yellow a bit more just to give it a little bit more of a turn. Blend it all through. So Glacier, actually I'm going to do Purple Twilight first because it's going to be easier to put the blue over the purple than it is the other way around. Whoa! Oh, it's not happy. Okay, I think I'm going to pause and wait until it stops hissing at me. And then we'll come back and do the purple and the blue. Okay, let's try this again. Ah, better. Yes. That's what we want. What the fuck are you doing, Laura? Ah, she's much happier now. Look at that. Yes. Okay. Let's try. Whoa, no! We want the purple in the red, not the red in the purple. Thank you. There we go. Okay, so blue. Why? Oh, it's so hard to get off. Okay. Okay, so that was Glacier, and I didn't leave myself enough room. I kind of got a little bit excited with the red and the orange and the yellow, and that didn't leave much room for much else, but we got there. We got there. Okay, so that is now our rainbow. And I'm wondering if I should bring my green up a little bit more, because my decal can kind of sit there. But that is... I've got to move these inks so that I can... There we go. Alright, so red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Tiny little bit of purple. Let's see if we can fix that. I feel like the blue kind of invaded a little bit there. That's a little bit better. Trying to get rid of these sponge lines. There we go. So that is how you do blown inks. Finally. So yeah, again, that blended weird. Give yourself enough room to have like your makeup sponge come in and fill in the gaps. Hold your can at an angle, put your alcohol ink on 1 or 2 drops at a time, and then try and squirt the compressed air in the direction that you want your little spindly bits to go. The red didn't really want to cooperate, but we got everything else to work. Right, so, and then if you have a look up close, you can see what I mean about still being able to see the glitter on underneath. So we got there in the end, but that is how I do my blown inks. If you have any comments, or if you could get that Kmart one to work for you, let me know in the comments. But that was the hot mess that we had in the live. So you can, if I can get them both in frame, you can see. Right. Now, these bits here are what I did manage to get, the yellow, the green and the blue, from practicing with the Kmart can, right? But anybody that missed the live, that was the absolute shit show that we tried to create in the live. And now with the Officeworks one, it's been a lot more cooperative. Okay guys, just jumping in real quick before the end of the video. I just wanted to show you what we did end up with after I'd finished having a play. I tried to blend it a little bit more, tried to make my purple a little bit deeper. Right, so this is what we're ending up with, and I've also put my Waterslide on, if I can get that glare away. Okay, now I did mention in the live, but I'll mention again, I have 3 children on the spectrum. I've always represented autism with the puzzle piece, but you know, as they get older, you get more educated, and I've recently learnt that the puzzle piece for autism awareness is more accepted by kids, but teenagers and adults on the spectrum don't, the majority of them from what I understand, don't like the puzzle piece, and the infinity symbol is the new symbol that they have chosen that represents them, right? So I found this cool one that has the feather in it, and then I got that, and then I made my own text, and it just says, not a puzzle, just infinitely wonderful. Okay, now the first time that I did put this design on that other cup in the live, I did mention about how disappointed I was that it wasn't as vibrant as I thought it was going to be when I printed it. So this time round, it is a lot like more opaque. If you can see the glitter underneath, okay, I still used clear Waterslide, but what I did this time was I printed it once, waited for the ink to dry, and then printed it again. I didn't print anything in between so that my little markers, you know, the bits that move in and out on the back of the printer where you load the paper in, so that they didn't move, it wasn't out, and tried printing over the top of it again, and it lined up perfectly. So it's a lot more vibrant this time, and I'm actually really, really happy with how that has turned out this time around. So I'm going to go and put some epoxy on it. I just wanted to show you what we ended up with using the blown ink method. So thanks very much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.